Hello, I'm making plans here for today. Wonderful weather, and we're in the Twin Cities, baby, checking out the Twin Stars. Let me show you a few things from up above here. Let's drop these labels. We don't need those. Get into satellite, and voila. Get rid of that, get rid of that, and let's back out. So we got North America, and we're going to do some scouting action because the plans are to get back to the base. I'm going to show you what the base looks like from up above. It's quite interesting, and where we're going to be, and what we're going to be doing today. The weather is unseasonably, unusually warm, and that's very fortunate. So the snow has melted, and that guy's going to get right back to that base and get right back to business, baby. You better believe it. You see here a dent in the map. That is the Twin Cities, the Twin Stars. Let me show you what I mean. Twin star cities, they share the same canal. It makes an S bend like every star city, like Paris. And in the bend, you got the canal going dead center through downtown St. Paul, the capital city, and through dead center of downtown Minneapolis, the sister city to the west, the slightly larger sister twin city to the west. They are fixed in the same position. They are twin stars in a five-pointed configuration. Here's the bottom branch here, and notice Minneapolis has the same branch in the same fixed position. They're parallel with each other. Notice the top branch is identical to Minneapolis. Minneapolis just being a slightly larger version. St. Paul being just a slightly smaller, not much smaller. They're very similar in size, but you see the five-pointed star here. Notice that every branch, this branch here, is in the same fixed position as this branch here. This branch here, same fixed position as this one here. And the bottom. Twins on the canal. And they're not the only twins. There are other sets of twin star cities with the bastion forts and all found around the realm. Here's our fort, Fort Snelling. There was a fort as well, this whole area, the whole airport here, on this bend. So you have the city, the capital city, right here on this bend. Okay, so let's get this in the middle here. I'm sorry about the fogginess here. They're so rude, you know. So you got this hump right here, you have St. Paul. You got, it makes an S bend. On this hump right here, you got St. Paul, or Minneapolis, excuse me, St. Paul, Minneapolis. And then on this hump, on this bend right here, that's where the fort is, the Star Fort. And this was more of the fort here, more of, this was part of the, or maybe it was an airport, an old airport. But the fort is on the property right here. Here's Fort Snelling, historic Fort Snelling. It's very, you can't tell at all its scale from up above. It's very high up. This is all on a big, enormous constructed um, mound, it would seem. It's all part of the construction. And this is Fort Snelling. And Minneapolis had a bastion fort as well. And it's not known exactly where it is, where it was, but possibly, I'm not sure. But let's get into the military base. So we got the twin stars here. Here's St. Paul, here's Minneapolis, the same, they're twins, side by side, in the same fixed position. Do you see? That's why we're called the North Star State. And all these major cities around the area are also like star cities in the same fixed position as Minneapolis and St. Paul. You see here, Mendota Heights. The roads run in the same fixed position as the cities above. See? The blurry. Right there. See? Mendota Heights even follows the same pattern. I even notice over here in Wisconsin, like the remnants of a city here, and even these roads are following the same fixed pattern and position as Minneapolis and St. Paul. See here? These branches coming out of the city, they follow the same, they run parallel with each other. I find that interesting as well. But let's get to the business, baby. Going to be a few things we're going to be looking at here. I want to show you how neat this is. So here's Minneapolis on the west. To the east, the capital star, St. Paul. Dead center of the two cities here is this street. It's called Midway. Let's follow Midway and let's see where it takes us. See where it takes us. Boom, straight, right in the kisser, baby. See the face right there? That's the base. The face is the base. All around it is dense neighborhood, see? And that's pareidolia. It just so happens to be that on the base perimeter here, there is a face, and it's pareidolia, right? Give me a mother muffin break and wake your ass up. That ain't an accident right here, baby. This is the military base, the Arden Hills Army Training Facility, an old World War II Army ammunition storage and weapons for storage facility. Okay, and it's a major gargantuan earthworks megastructure geoglyph is what it is, consisting of two mounds right here. And guess what? Look at this mound here and this mound here. One of the mounds I showed you in the first video and the second video, those two mounds, here they are. The first mound makes up the eye. And this mound here and this mound here are the two mounds that I pointed out. Guess what? Look at the nose, dead center of the property line here, the nose. He's upright with the streets in the cardinal directions as well. He's upright with the map. Like that's an accident as well. Why wouldn't he be facing? If it was Pareidolia, you would expect him to be facing any direction. He just so happens to be, perfectly situated above the Twin Cities, dead center between. Look where he is. Let me back out here. Here's the Twin Cities. Look, dead center between at Midway. There's the face. Dead center between St. Paul, the Twin Cities. Dead center between the two. And this is an accident in Pareidolia. He's facing upright. He's got eyes. He did have two eyes. That's how I found it, because the eye was so obvious. But now they show you an image of it with duck moss in it, so you can't see the other pronounced eye. When this is filled like this one with regular water, not duck moss water, it very much so pops. And it's like, holy shit. So I have to look back and see if I can backdate some images from Google from when I found this and show you what it looked like. They've skewed it a lot. Other platforms, I go onto Bing or the Marble here or Bing, you can barely, they've skewed it so much. So let me show you the sections that are being used today. Still, they use the space still today. So this is a geoglyph, an earthworks geoglyph. Right here is the part of the base which they still use today. Many of these buildings are buried in deep, strange buildings, lots of underground aspects, as this was weapons storage and ammunition storage for World War II, as well as manufacturing. So ammunition and artillery. This side of the base, the south end, the southeastern end of the base, is what they use today still. There's a sheriff's offices here as well. And they use these buildings, which are all old buildings repurposed, and they're all buried very deep. You go in raised parking lots, these strange raised parking lots that are raised up around the buildings. Let me show you here. Notice how the parking lot is all around the building here. It's interesting. When you come in here, these buildings are sunken down very deep. It's very strange. I'll have to show you this side here. It's hard to explain, so I'll have to show you maybe the used portion. But why do they need a racetrack here at the military base? What's that? What are these tracks really? What's that at the military base? And there's all sorts of buildings that have been removed here. Look at these. All these foundations. Boom, boom, boom. All buildings taken out and removed. Look up here. It's nuts. Boom, 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 boom. All these are buildings that have been removed. Boom, boom, boom. Building, building, building. Over here, roads. Or they could be the imprints of underground facilities that we're looking at as well. These could be, but when you go out there, they're flat foundations. I've been out here on the ground. I'm likely not going to do that today because it's kind of far off from where we're going to be. Where we're going to be is right here, and this is where we began our journey. It's right here above on the forehead of this fellow here. Right here is the abandoned section. The weapons and ammunition storage facility is up here. Many of much of this facility is underground, and much of it is above ground. So let me zoom right down into this sucker and show you what we're talking about. It's very interesting. Look at the style of the buildings here, how they look. I'm going to show you where we're going to be. So we came in onto this place. Here's the road we came in on. We were at this bend right here at first in the first video. We went to the gate right here, and we were looking up at this road. Okay? And that car came up, and as soon as I parked there, man, they came quick, baby. They came quick. And I don't know where they came from. Like these buildings up here. Strange little trailers everywhere. And there's trailers and weird stuff like this, and they seem dirty and weathered and like they've just been sitting here, these strange buildings. This is spooky. I don't know what they're doing. Up there by the eye in this pond, which is constructed and is made because it's an eye. It's been dug out with, it's like it's been dug and created recently, likely in that time period. I think that this is a geoglyph going by the looks of this fella. It looks like a general. I'm guessing that this was maybe a 1930s or a World War II geoglyph construction because of what they've done. There may have already been a geoglyph here, but I think they refurbished it a bit. I'm not sure. I'm just throwing ideas out there, but it does seem a lot of the aspects of this. I mean, I'm finding lids for tunnel entrances. They all say like 1941 in that time period, right in the wartime. So right here, these are all the bunkers that we are looking at with those wooden constructions. Some of them have masonry. I mean, they all have masonry floors and masonry outer. Well, I don't know. There was a couple of them that were masonry, and some of them weren't. Where was it? They're very strange. They're not all the same. They seem like they would be, but they're not all the same. When you get down into these things and look at them, look, they have these wood fences around them. Some of them are masonry construction, some of them are wood, and they're different sizes, different. I think this was the masonry one here. This one is like a masonry. The inside's all wood, but this one was a masonry building. I think this one was wood here, and I think, yeah, I think the ones that have these two dots on, I don't know, these two vents. See how they're different here? Each one of these, they're all for, I don't know what these were, but they're all bunkers. These are the raised up triangular mounds up against these wooden fences around these bunkers. But these are flat. When you go in these buildings, they are flat and level with the ground. What's this? That one's interesting. I didn't. Oh, what's the white one here? Hey, whiz. Well, you know what? We may have to check that one out. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna get over here. So let's remember this one here, and look at all the buildings they removed here. The two they removed. Oh, here's the building that I was showing you. They removed this building here. I was showing you that flat plane. There was a building up here as well, somewhere out, a smaller building. Maybe they had already removed it before this. You can see where there was other buildings, and oh, here's where the other building was up here. And then so they already yeah, they already got that one out. So this is where we were in that grass field with all the coyotes and such. That's right here, and this is where this is the building that was removed. Very cool building, but it's gone now. That's the building that was there, so it's still on the maps because they just removed that in the spring. So here's the building, the first building. Oh, so we peeked into this building right over here. We peeked into this one, that creepy built with all the painted walls and such. That was that creepy building there, that little mock setup there. Weird. And look at this strange, like pitchfork style building. And they have all these tunnels, and these are storage. And yeah, there's one more sunken building here, a strange sunken bunker building way back over here. But when you go into those, they're not really sunken. They have mounds raised up around on the walls that surround these buildings. They're not buried. They're just hidden. They're hidden. See, these rise up, but when you walk into these buildings, you're walking on flat ground, and you walk right in they're flat foundations, ground level. So definitely seem to be anomalous. I don't know. I mean, they're all new constructions. They're all World War II constructions, first without a doubt, and they're crap, and they're crumbling to dust. But I'm just not certain if something was already here previously, because we do see evidence of terracotta culverts, which was right over here in this field. Found a terracotta culvert somewhere, likely around. And that tunnel that we saw coming in is right here. There's a tunnel right here. That's the tunnel, that huge tunnel we saw. We walked along it. Here's those three buildings we saw already with the heater in there, the radiator, whatever that was. So that's where we were. And what we're going to do today, my plan is to come right back here. And I wasn't planning to go to the bunkers here, but let's keep these two white buildings at the very end of the bunker It's a little section here. Let's keep that in mind. I may take a peek. I may just walk down here and take a peek and see what's in there and what's in there. Because those ones are very different. Those ones are very different. I didn't notice that. I've never been to these ones. I think I've been as far as maybe this row, from this, the third row, and I haven't been to this fourth one because we ran into coyotes here one time, spooked a few of them out of one of these bunkers, and boy, they took off for the hill over here. But man, it scared us, scared the bejenny out of us, baby. It tells you what, scared the bejenny out of us. Here's another structure here. We might want to take note of that. But there is, oh, I know that structure. I know that one. Oh, my phone's going to ring. Hang on. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, it is. Okay, just a moment. So, over here, there's 3 buildings, and they're interesting as well. Very, very uh, good masonry techniques being used in these buildings. These are masonry buildings here. Concrete cinder block and brick used together. And they've done a great job with these buildings here, these 3 buildings here. These 2 are open. We can explore into these buildings. There's not much in there, but we can see the construction of them, and it's quite interesting. So I think we ought to. Over here, this building here is wide open. We can go through. It's very empty. We can go through all sections. And then when you come into here, what we're going to do today, without a doubt, is we're going to come down here into this building, okay? And we're going to walk through this and check it out, okay? I may even have to see, I haven't explored beyond these 4. I haven't explored this section here yet, so that will be another day. The plan is to look at all of this today, this pitchfork, and we're going to walk through these elaborate little tunnels here. They're not that elaborate, but they're interesting. They're fun to walk through too. And these right here are the weapons storage lockers in here. One of them sunk in here, and these are tunnels with pitched roofs, and you walk through these tunnelways, and you go into these different storage lockers everywhere. Okay, so that's the plan. We're going to check out what's in or what's left of these storage lockers. We're going to walk through these white tunnels and through these tunnels and into each one of these buildings. Okay, there are some machinery. There's machinery in some of these buildings. There's machinery, equipment left behind, and we can take a look at some of it. I think there's a generator in here and a couple of, maybe a dynamo or something. And I'm not sure what else we might find because I haven't explored this thoroughly yet, and that's the plan, is to start doing this thoroughly. There's always a lot of folks here. I mean, not a lot, but I ran into some folks last time I was here, and they were nice. They waved at me they were on the roof up here. They were on the roof. I was down over here. Actually, I found right here, there's a small building right here, and down in the ground there is a tunnel entrance. Oh, you can't zoom into it. Oh, you can see right there that's a manhole lid, and there's a tunnel, or maybe right there. There's a tunnel right here, out of nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a grass field. There's a huge tunnel entrance right here. So that's interesting as well. That's what that little building is right there. It's all wrecked. So the plans are to get down here. We'll check out this section here with the upside down pitchfork and all of these. And it looks like it's saying something here. Like, what's this? An M, a U, a P, or a. Can you make this out? It's like an E. I think it's a word. I think it's saying something. I can't tell though. Or it's some sort of a code, maybe for the military. But that's definitely a language right there. The way that they configured these to look like this, that's a code. That's a language. Some sort of a military language. So that's the target right here today. Love you all. Take care. And I will see you at the base. We may take a look over here too. We'll see. And maybe, possibly, over here, we ought to just take a peek into those. It'll take 2 minutes because we're going to run across the grass here. And this will be a later day. We'll check this section out. And I'm thinking about these right here are like canopies. They're like a, I don't know what to call it. This one's a building. They were building, but they're open. They're not like fully sealed buildings here. These are, I forget what you call these. My mind's blanking. I'll see you there. Love you all. Take care.